CME family, Betwabu, Benabetus. Welcome. It's been a while. Yes, CME. What a time we are in. What a time we are in. I'm telling you, we are in serious times, family. Amazing. Can we talk? Can we talk, family? Can we talk? Can we have a conversation? Yes. It's time for us to have a conversation. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I trust that everybody's doing well. So we say Kimbo, Natan and Zambi, Yamazulu, Grand Rising, Great Awakening, Kingdom Greetings. Yes, family, it is amazing time that we are in. Yeah, amazing time that we are in. And I believe that if we are not paying attention, if we are not doing what we call our shadow work, if we are not healing from any traumas that we may have suffered, if we are not paying attention to our environment, if we're not paying attention to those that are around us, if we're not paying attention to what we consider the signs of the times, if we're not paying attention, we are let me just Tatanazambi Sonini Nanini Kuswa Congo guy, Isaiah Congo, the Most High Divine Creator Source. Empty me of myself and any pre-notion that I may have, that I may be the conduit that you would flow through, that source would flow through, that the Most High you would flow through and speak to and speak through. Let them not hear me, but hear you. May we have a conversation to this day that would help to increase our understanding, overstanding of what is going on and how do we prepare and be able to stand in the midst of all that is happening. May we be even all the more focused than we've ever been before. May we be transformed in our thinking. And we give you all the Kimbo, Ingeta. CME once again, family, CME. Can we talk? Can we have a conversation? Can we dialogue? Can I get feedback and conversation from you? Because I've been restraining myself from coming and doing lives just for doing lives, just for latest information and stuff like that, because this is where a lot of us are tied up and entangled, because a lot of information is coming at us left, right, and center, and it's causing a lot of people to become stagnated, causing a lot of people to become frustrated. It's causing a lot of people to be hindered in their advancement and moving forward. I'm learning that so many people are being disappointed in various groups and stuff like that because of what is going on. It's just so much. So much in the midst of this awakening, so much in the midst of now we're learning that we are sending, and so much information. We are really, truly in the age, in the era of information. Information is here, there, and everywhere. It's all around us. There's no lack of information. It is now being able to cipher through this information what fits us. First and foremost, as an individual, what fits you, and then what fits you us collectively as a people. And this is where we have to pull ourselves back, reevaluate, and get in alignment with the divine creator. Having that relationship to find out, where do I fit in? How do I maneuver through this matrix, through this maze? Can we have a conversation? Can we talk, family? Because what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm getting downloaded in my ruach, my mwanda, my spirit, it is information. It's like an information highway. I think it's in China. Like China have a 50-lane highway. And then at the end of that 50-lane highway, it all leads into 4 lanes. So you can imagine 50 lanes trying to merge into 4 lanes. It's like, okay, Atlanta. Atlanta have an 8-lane, I think it's an 8-lane or 10-lane highway, right? And imagine trying to get off that 8-lane highway in Atlanta and trying to get on 2 lanes. The chaos. The chaos. Or, it's too much information coming in all at one time from so many different directions. And that's the truth. The awakening is true, but we have to be in one accord in our teaching. And that's true in one sense. But when we are realizing that there's so much avenue, there's so much there again, like I said, information coming at us. This is, I don't know. I don't know how to explain or transmit information that is being downloaded. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really have not been coming on YouTube and doing the lives like I used to, because how do I separate? How do I separate all of this information? You hear about the Congo, you hear about Kenya, you hear about Uganda, you hear about America, you hear all of this. And then you realize that all of the stories that we have a little bit of everything. Then I see a lot of persons are really pulling towards the Kemet, metaphysics, and the conscious community, and it's like, yeah. So that's why it keeps on asking. The question keep on coming. We are spirit beings having this experience. We are spirit beings having this experience. I'll say it one more time. We are spirit beings having this experience. We say and we know that the soul of a man, the spirit of our spirit, we never die. We transition. We do not die. We transition. When we transition out of here, where do we transition to? They tell us heaven, but nobody could ever tell us how this heaven is. Those who say they die and went to heaven, go die and go to heaven with a connotation of being a white JC. You understand? Yeah. And then it's just so much family. Then the church teach this rapture theory when we know now in this awakening that there's no rapture that is going to take place. And if there's no rapture going to take place, who give us the story of heaven and hell? Who give us the story of heaven and hell? When being here on the continent, you would realize that there was never a story about heaven and hell. The story of heaven and hell came with the colonizers. When the Portuguese and the Belgians and those people came, the French and all them came, heaven and hell came with them. There was never a story of heaven and hell. Can we talk? What is the next move? How do we sift through all of the information that is now being unleashed and released to us? Yes, we know we are the people, or this earth was actually given to us. We know that. We know now that we created the ones who now imprison us or enslave us. We created them. These are some things are factual. You know, some things, no matter how much they try to sweep it underneath the rug or hide it away from us, the evidence keep on resurfacing. It's like you're trying to sink a floaty that is filled with air, but every time you push it down, it rises back up. You cannot hide this. You cannot hide the truth anymore in terms of who we are. That's number one. Like our sister said, that's the truth. Who we are cannot be hid. We created the Caucasians. Yes, they came out of us. They were our creation. So that part of the scripture says that let us create man. That was them. We create them. Yeah. We experimented with them. So yeah, so our ancestors believe that when we transition out of this life, we become an ancestor. We can become a custodian, become a guide. Yes, it is that. That's what they believed. We become an ancestor. Now, they also tell you that some of our ancestors were not, some did not ascend into the higher realm. Some stayed in the celestial plane. So when we find that we have some ancestors that are still in that border, that's where the quote unquote Catholic Church get purgatory from. Yeah, that's where they get purgatory from. The Catholic Church get purgatory from us learning that some of our ancestors, when they transition from life to the other sometimes they stay neutral for a long time in that astral plane. I mean, family, I'm telling you, when you sit with the elders, when you really dive deeper beyond just what the surface teaching that we get, we really get, I say to dive deeper. But when we open up our spirit, let me put it like that, not so much diving deeper, but when we open up our spirit, we recognize and we realize so much more to the teaching than what is being taught. And sometimes the teachers, even they know the depths of some of the things, um, they hold back some information because in their minds, they feel like a lot of people are not ready to really hear the truth because a lot of people are still holding on to that Christianity, Hebrew Israelite kind of thinking, that dogma kind of thinking, that the Gentiles can bow at our feet and serve us kind of thinking. Yeah. But they're not ready to really tell you that the highest level of ascending, the highest level of having that divine relationship with the Most High, that you can really experience the full impact of a relationship, and His presence is love. I'm telling you, when you learn how to forgive the Muzungus, I'm not saying you can make them your friends and bring them over for dinner and lunch and all this stuff. But when you learn how to forgive that person that raped you, that person that stole from you, that person that rejected you, that person that molested you, or when you learn to really release all of the baggage, all of the hurt, where that little scripture says, all of the weight that's so easily, I'm talking about sinning, I do this sin because sin is based on what they categorize sin as, right? But when you let go of all the weight, all of the weight of this world, all of the cares of this world, all of the idiosyncrasies of this world, all of the gates of hell and the Faucis and all of these people, when you really let go of the government system and stop debating, the government doing this and the government doing that, and when you really get out of that, you'll get out of that, or this density, this matrix, and you get a little bit higher and you realize you create your own world. You create your own reality. You create your own utopia, your own heaven on earth, your own space. You see? These are the things, and I understand why way back then, in last year or the year before, when the Most High said to me, now that you know you're Bantu, now what? What's next? Okay, we know we're Bantus. We know that this earth was given to us. We are the promised seed, the chosen seed. But now what? How do we restore it? Because we cannot restore it hating. Because hate is what they feed off. Hate is what keeps them existing. Fear keeps them existing. Fear keeps that stronghold over those who are still there. Because it ain't over me. And I don't want to say you, right? But that's what it is. Fear and hate keeps us bound. The longer you stay hating, the longer you stay being in fear, the longer you stay bound. Majority of you who know me know my story and how I moved and how I transitioned in the midst. I talk about 2020, in the midst of COVID. In the midst of it, I transitioned. Without any Jabberwocky. You understand? So it's all about vibrating. It's all about raising the way we think. It's all about loving. It's all about changing our concept of people bowing at our feet and serving us and all this junk that we've been fed for so long. This hate monger and fear mongering campaign. I'm telling you, we got to be careful in this season. So a lot of people are opting to exit because they can't handle what they now realize. In order for us to be able to do the things that we need to do, we got to love. And you always hear me saying, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I might tell you this is from genuinely from the depths and the pureness of my heart, because I spend time in meditation. One time ago I was fasting and praying, but now I meditate. I just sit in the presence of the divine. I sit in the presence of the Most High, and just listen. More so than me giving a request, I'm listening. I'm not bombarding and you see this one and you see the next one and do this and do the next and kill this one and raise this one. No, I sit and listen. This is how we get divine directions. This is how we get rid of bitterness and hatred. This is how we are healed properly of our hurts and our pains and all those things that may have happened to us and our ancestors, because some of us all of us carry the DNA of our ancestors and some of the trauma that happened to our ancestors. So we now that are woke are the ones who have to be able to cleanse our bloodline, cleanse our DNA from that trauma, that it doesn't pass on anymore. That we do not allow our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, that trauma of our DNA to continue on with them. We are now the ones that is to stop it, so we could properly inherit the earth, help to cleanse the earth, that it could be conducive. Because remember, they tell us in the scripture, what they tell us, the earth have to be cleansed, and we could inhabit this. It's a world without end. So that fire and brimstone will only come if we refuse to heal, if we refuse. Oh my goodness. And even in fire and brimstone, man can destroy this earth itself if we do not rise up. Get out of fear. How do we get out of fear? We got to stop taking every word that they say, every program they put out there on the television, on the news, on the broadcast. Okay, that's the other thing I wanted to share with you. I do not know how many of you is aware, or are aware, or I'm aware, whichever the proper English terminology is, because you all know a sister and English, even though English is the only language I speak, and I did well, but I still, How many of you know that Putin, Russia, paid off $20 billion debt for African countries? Now, I don't follow the news, but I do my little TikTok. Yes, I do my little TikTok. And you know why they're trying to ban TikTok? Because a lot of information has been simulating out there, right? And so another information that came across my desk was the $20 billion that was paid off. Then I didn't know that South Africa was a part of BRIC. And now I heard the president of Kenya just told all Kenyans to get rid of their US dollars. Because there's going to be a change very soon. Do y'all hear what I say? So it seems as that Africa is truly pulling away. I was listening to another African leader. When I tell you, he was telling them off. He was telling them off. You are the only country that goes into other people's country and want to do embargo. And you is the only country that goes into other people's country and want to do war. My brothers and sisters that are in the diaspora, I encourage you to truly pay attention. Be sensitive in your spirit, so much the more that if you hear that still small voice tell you, get to the airport, you get to the airport. If it tell you, get to the shoreline, get to the shoreline. Because what we do not believe will come, will surely come. Because why? A cleansing must take place, a changing of the guard, getting back in the hands of the righteous, the owners. Let me not just say the righteous, the owners of this earth, where we vibrate in that love and peace and unity, the restoration of the kingdoms that was here, and how we operated and how we loved on one another and share with one another before we created. Oh, yeah. The Mzungus. So, there are things that are strategically happening. That are strategically happening. And we have to pay attention. I believe that the Most High allowed me to see that video with the Kenyan president tonight because I wasn't coming on here. I really was restraining myself from coming doing any live because I'm in a place where as I cannot afford to get caught up in any negativity. I try to keep my atmosphere as clear and as pure as I possibly could to hear from the divine. But he said, when I saw that, he said, go and talk to them. Go and have a conversation. Go and have a conversation. And I'm like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And I'm thankful that I am one that walk in obedience. My obedience is my sacrifice, because sometimes me walking in obedience really just costs me at the end of the day, the warfare, the fight, the backlash. But guess what? I'd rather be obedient and take the licks myself than to walk in disobedience and then somebody else become a casualty because of my disobedience. So we have to, in order for us to purify and cleanse this earth and make it conducive for our adversaries to be gone, is love. So if you're still hating the Mzungus and you're still operating in bitterness because they enslaved my family, and my great-grandparents work on a plantation, and this one they sodomized, and that's one they castrated, and that one they lynched, and the next one they do, and all this different stuff, you keeping them in power. You're keeping them in control because that's what they feed off. When you do the research on what they do, how they torture children and adults and to get the hydrochlone out of them. That's what it name. I think that's what it name, hydrochlone. That hormone, that whatever that flows out of us when we in fear, and they do you, and then they take that out of you to keep themselves looking young. You see, your fear, your anger, your bitterness, your hatred, your frustration, keeping them here, keeping them on top, keeping them in power. I can't forget. I can never forgive them. All right, don't forgive them. You'll see people keep on running, going around and around in circles. You're wondering why you get so close to manifesting the things that you need, and then all of a sudden it disappears because that hate comes up. All of a sudden you was loving, and then something triggered that hate. There is nothing no one could do to trigger me to hate anybody. I could dislike what they did. I could talk about what they did, but when I don't talk about it, vent it, and get over it, guess what? Hey, I love you, my sister. I love you, my brother. But I will not keep low vibing, negative, angry, bitter people around me. I will not. I refuse. I keep my conversation. Anytime I find anger and bitterness coming on the conversation, anyway, I gotta go. Because 9 times out of 10, we don't look at ourselves and we don't see our attitude. We don't see what we're doing wrong. We don't see how what we say is causing a reaction from somebody else. We don't see sometimes, not even what we say, our body language. You know, how we move and react and all that stuff. We see somebody come in one door, we go through another door, trying to avoid eye contact or saying good morning, good afternoon, grand rising, kingdom greetings, great awakening. How are you today? And really mean, how are you? To hear what the person say, how is your day going? And you keep on walking. How you could ask me, how is my day going? But you're still moving. When you ask me how my day going, that means you must stop and listen and respond. Not just ask me how my day going and keep on moving. That's such a disrespectful. So we want the blessings. We want the kingdom to come. We want the increase. We want the health. We want the wealth. But we don't want the love. What we created is like a mother giving birth to a child and then casting the child aside and hating the child for what the child become. But you created it. You created it. Now you got to deal with it. We create them. We create the monster. We were the slave masters first. We created them to be our slaves. And then the slaves turn on us. Whether you want to believe it or not. If we were the first people on the earth, we were created. We were in control. We were everywhere. We were in the continent. We were in Europe, in Asia, Australia, the Americas, the islands of the seas. We were South America. We were everywhere. If we were everywhere, they tell us Christopher Columbus was white. Christopher Columbus even wasn't white. But any which way, that's a story for another day. We know King James was black. Plenty things they whitewash for us to hate the Mzungus. That's why I tell you, who tell the narrative, who tells the story, dictates what we think. Just like if they can whitewash JC and make JC white, why can't they whitewash so many other things? We were the ones that enslaved our creation, our creation. Come on, let's talk. What's the next move? What do we do now from this point on that we knowing these truths? We now that all of these truths are coming out, all the evidence are coming out of who we are and what we did. Take responsibility for what you did. Forgive that child for what the child has done. And let's move forward. Let's purify this earth so we can now live the way it was intended for us to live here, in peace, in harmony, and eating the good of the land. I tell people, the continent is literally, not just figuratively, not just in words. It's literally the land of milk and honey. Literally. I'm talking about, people say, but I know some people don't drink fresh milk from the cow, from the goat, whatever have you. But every day, you could literally get fresh milk, unpreserved, fertilized, contaminated milk and honey. Every day. Every single day here on this continent. But how do we rectify? How do we correct the mess? The conscious community. Those of us who say we are woken, those of us who say we are Bantus and the chosen people, and we know we are the chosen people. It takes us consciously having a make-up mind to forgive the people we created and chase to the Caucasus Mountain. We ran them to the Caucasus Mountain. We put them out. They was here with us because we created them, and we put them out to the Caucasus Mountain. These are the truths that you don't want to hear. That's what you don't want to hear. But you hate them because they came back and colonized you. They fight for hundreds of years to get back access because they hate, the same thing, same strong word, they hated what was done to them. It's like a mother abandoned her child and the child grew up and come back with a vengeance. Yeah, that's what we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear that. No, we don't want to hear that. We just want to know we are Bantus and we are the promised seed, but we don't want to hear what we did to the creation we created. How we run them to the Caucasus Mountain. Yeah. Y'all know. I give you what the Most High give me. I give you what the divine source download inside my spirit. Yeah. We had that kind of technology of DNA splicing. We have that technology. We had that technology. That ain't just come about with this GMO, genetically modified. That ain't just come out. We were the ones who created it. That's how we create them. Splicing our DNA. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We splice our DNA. We created them. That's why they have recessive genes. That's why they only have 6. We have how many? 12? We splice. We did. This is how intelligent we are. Think about it. When you think about how many things was created in this world, majority 99.99% of everything that was created by us. So modern science and technology, we digress. We have not progressed. We digress because why? The divine had to intervene and slow down some stuff because we would have completely obliterate this earth. We would have completely wiped it out because how fast we was advancing with technology. What you call it? Hiroshima bomb. If that wasn't contained, this whole earth would have been wiped out. We had to have some divine intervention to help that bomb from not wiping the whole earth out. We, melanated people, that's how smart we are. You see in America, a melanated woman who created a thing how to melt the cancer out of your skin or your body with a laser. That's how smart we are. You see, we got our children going to university now, finishing university at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. Because now we are re-exhilarating once again. You'll notice our children when they're born now, they're born and at 9 days, they looking around, they're born in with their eyes wide open. Even in born with their eyes closed no more. It's 3 months and 4 months and they done talking and stuff like that. 6 months and 7 months, 8 months, they done walk. I was laughing at the commercial that they have with the baby, just how he come out of the mother's womb. He clip his own umbilical cord, put on his own clothes, and then take a selfie and gone. But don't laugh. I was laughing, but I looking at some of these babies now and I'm like, whoa, how advanced. All souls returning. We say, oh, this one is act just like grandma. This one is act just like grandpa. You think they come back to help us? Because they're realizing we are not getting it together. We are still in this lull and this arguing back and forward and this debating back and forward instead of just loving one another. Just love. Love is the one. Love is going to purify this earth. Love is going to be the one that heals. Love is going to be the one that gets us back. That's why I told you all before. I didn't tell you all several videos ago. I said, don't be surprised when you take a Mzungu blood and find that they Bantu. They are children. We splice our DNA, give it to them and create them. And then what they did a lot of inbreeding, caused a lot of deformities and stuff like that. Because when we run them to the Caucasus Mountain, they breed among themselves. Until they learn how to do the DNA slicings and stuff like that. We did some damage, family. So what we facing, the karma. The karma we facing, we say, oh, the Most High punished us like this. It is what we did. Came back to bite us. What we did came back to bite us. I don't know who it is to sing the song. The world is a cycle. Society is what we do comes back. What we speak manifests. Can we talk? What's our next move? What are we going to do next? We know we Bantu. We know this the promised land. We know we chosen people. We know, but our attitude still hasn't changed. Still puffed up and arrogant and prideful, hateful, hating. I don't know if I could ever. Well, keep on the hamster wheel. Keep on the hamster wheel. Keep on running in circles until you learn how to forgive, until you learn how to love and walk past the mozongo and don't catch your eye and kiss your teeth. Then, when that anger is really healed, then you'll be able, you know. Some are still, and some has scratched it. Yeah, some still and some scratched it. So I am really interceding and vibrating at that level that it'll be scratched across the board everywhere, that it would not be needed anymore. I really, really wish it would just be dropped altogether, because it's already been exposed that it was a scam, it was a money making thing. You understand? It also, what I'm so what I'm really, really hurt for is anybody who took the Jabberwocky becomes a property of the foundation. You no longer are an individual by yourself, but you now become a property of, yeah, the patent holders, the patent owners of those Jabberwockies now own you if you took the Jabberwocky. Those who stood strong and fight and say, no, we are free agents. We will become the full custodians. Yeah. Yeah. So now what they're saying is, wow, now that you mentioned that, what they're saying is those who didn't take the Jabberwocky will get reparation. But those who did disqualify. Oh, yeah, that's something that is being talked also. Who did from who didn't? What qualifies them for reparation? Because now you become the property of the patent owners. Yeah. So I would encourage, let's continue, let's vibrate to that level, whereas we put our algorithm out there, our words out there, so our words will not return to us void. Our words will not return to us void. And we call for the dismantling and of all borders that are still requiring. Yeah, we call it dismantling of it. Yeah. So if we could vibrate at that magnitude to pull it all down, and yeah, that's what we have to do. We have to, yeah. They are something else for real, my dear Queen sister. They are. When I tell you they came with vengeance, because we put them away. We created them as our slaves, and then we put them away. So this is the highest form of sorcery and bitterness and anger and all that stuff, and revenge. It was all about revenge. It's all about revenge. Taking vengeance. We said the Bible said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. That's what they say. Vengeance is theirs, they will repay. They was away. They wanted it, what they wanted it. They, at any means necessary, they wanted it to wipe us out. By any means necessary. Yeah. That's their pure intentions, is to just however best they can wipe us out, to wipe us out. And that's why every time you turn around, there's a different ailment that they introduce. And when you look at the ailments, it all goes back to a pattern, something that's created inside in the lab. Everything. And that's why from birth, they started giving us Jabberwockies. All of that is intentional. And I find it so ironic, some of our people still, instead of opting and deciding not to take their babies to go and take the Jabberwockies, They're still taking them, even then they know the evil intentions of these companies. Today, 2023, people still taking their newborns to get a Jabberwocky. We never used to do them things before. And our ancestors lived to be 100 and something and all this different age without those things. Even to today, you have elders here who have never taken one Jabberwocky in their life, and they're 125, 100, 102, 90. You see? Can we talk? What is our next? Our next. So I don't know if I've made it clear enough, but to see the restoration starting to take place, we have to operate in a level of love that is unprecedented. It's like, it becomes scary to them, not so much to us, because we now know what our intentions is. We now know where our heart should be. We can't operate in our root, in our feelings. That's the very low. That's the basic. That's the lowest. Like, and you operate in your feelings. But when you operate in love, you operating in divinity, in the divine. You really operating in the divine place. Because the Most High is love. No matter what you see happening in this earth realm, because we all came here to gain an experience and have an encounter. Yes, it's going to be cleaned up, and yes, we're going to be able to inhabit it and stuff like that. But love is going to clean it up. Love is going to stop them. Hate, bitterness, malice, all that stuff is keeping them in power. We have to operate in a place of love. That's what's next. That's the next move. How do we heal our DNA? How do we heal our DNA and operate from a place of love? See, the thing is this. Watch this now. When some of us was in Christianity, we operated in a place of love. When we came out and went into that Hebrew Israelite, that's where we start picking up that bitterness and that hatred. When we became awake and know the lies that they told us, that took some of us to another level of hatred and bitterness. And now, the Most High is saying, bring it in, pull yourself in now. Cleanse yourself from all of that. Get back to a place of love. Loving your neighbor as yourself. That place. Who is your neighbor? It ain't just somebody who physically living next door to you. Maybe somebody who just passed across you. Somebody in a vehicle and you on the light and they on the light. Instead of honking your horn, tell them, hurry up, get out of the way. You understand? Love. That's the next move. And if we can't operate in that love, it's going to be hard for us to manifest and see the fullness and the restoration of the kingdom. It's going to be hard. Yes, I know what I remember. Even when you think about Simone Toko, when you think about him, and I saw somebody post a rare footage or video of him when he was young. He operated in such a calm place. Yes, when he spoke a word with authority, but he operated from a very calm, neutral place. Yeah. And when you think about the majority of those who died for the cause, they didn't die hating the colonizers. They died defending the people. They didn't like what the colonizers did, but they give their life for the people. And so I come this day um, in the humblest of form that the Most High could humble me um, to share with you what's next. Love. Love is going to cause us to heal. Love is going to cause us to be able to restore the kingdom. Love is going to cause us to be able to. And I say in love and where they say slap you on this cheek and you turn and let them slap you on the next cheek. No. I say in love and being foolish. You understand me? But love in the terms of you easily can forgive and move forward. You could jab them with a, let me retreat, let me behave myself. You understand where I'm coming from. I hope you understand, you understand, overstand where I'm coming from. Love them out of here. Love them out of here. Don't let them fear you and back you into a corner. Oh, the next wave is coming in 20, and the next, this one is coming. No, you don't let them cause you to operate in no fear. You understand? Don't let them cause you to buy into their narrative again. We stand strong. So many other. Let's stand strong. Let's continue to stand strong. But the next is love. And the greatest of these is love. And this commandment I give you, love. So we now can live in our wealthy place. So we now can live in the houses and drive. Enjoy this earth, this place that was given to us. Take back our lordship, our rulership, our ownership. That's what it's time for. Ew, I love that. Take back our lordship, our ownership, our rulership. I like that. Yeah. So let's take it back. Let's love. Let's raise the vibration. Let's raise the standard and no longer allow them to dictate to us. So may we walk in love. May we as Bantus walk in love. May we as the chosen ones walk in love. Let's dismantle their program, their system. Let's dismantle it. We have the power to dismantle their system. We do. We are powerful beings. We are very, very powerful beings. You can imagine that we are so powerful and we don't even know the kind of power we have. We have powers over celestial beings, what you all call angels. But because we operate in such a low level and misunderstanding of the powers and misusage of the powers that we have, we miss the bigger picture of purifying and cleansing ourselves first and foremost, and then being able to help our brothers and sisters. You know, we say, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for life. I believe this is a time now, not just to give a man a fish, but to teach how to love. How do I love? When I know what these people did, when I quote unquote, let me tell you why they show us these videos, these movies and stuff like that. You all know everything they do is very strategic. Nothing they do is by happen chance. They show us these movies, they allow these movies to be created so we can start hating again. Think about it. All of a sudden now they give these various directors permission to do movies on Queen Nzinga, the black, what you call it, the woman king. Why? Because we stopped, we was moving away from that hate. So they need to insinuate the hate. Since we can't have a riot, we ain't rioting like how they wanted us, how they thought we would have been rioting. So what they do? Bring us the movies to bring that hate mechanism back inside our heart. Man, these people are they're so cunning and crafty. All of it is to bring back that hate again. That bitterness, that anger. Let me show them what we did to them. Let's show them how we came in and kill. Guess what we do? Start hating, getting angry. Yeah. You see? We gotta now think. They've been thinking 100 years ahead of us. Now we gotta re-strategize that and start thinking 100 years ahead of them. If you read the Willie Lynch letter, that's what Willie Lynch said. When you teach your children will be able to teach their children, and you will have the upper hand for 200 years. For 200 years. You imagine? So they was thinking, Willie Lynch was teaching them how to teach their children so their children could teach their children so they can have a 200 years stronghold over us. So you can imagine every 200 years they've been trying to keep us in. And now the 400 years has come to an end. We're waking up. And now they're using what other strategies now, movies and all these different things to spark the anger and the bitterness and all that stuff. Is, man, listen, if we don't get wise, we will continue to be like the hamster on the wheel, running in circles, trying to get. Yeah. So we have to rise up, family. Let's see here. Yes, even the Netflix series on Queen Charlotte. Yep. Chaos and anger. Yep, that's what they're trying to do. Because we know that Queen Charlotte was a black woman. They whitewash her, but anything to insinuate and get us angry. And not many people know anything about what their supernatural cultural besides like 4 or 5 cultures worldwide. And that's true because why? Everything that was spiritual to us, they demonize. And so we believe what they tell us. They told the narrative, they write the books. So they demonize what was our supernatural powers. They show us the Superman, but they give us a what? A Mzungu Superman. They show us the Wonder Woman, they give us a what? A Mzungu Wonder Woman. They show us Bionic Man and all these different things. Everything that the powers that we have, they showed us in the Mzungu color. So everything was to keep white supremacy on top. But that time has come to an end. We no longer be slave to fear, to anger, to bitterness, to hate. We're rising up now. We're going to love them the hell out of here. Yes, I said it. We're going to love them out of here. We're going to love them to the point that they have no other choice but to leave. We ain't gonna have to run them and chase them. But because we're going to be vibrating so high, because we're going to be loving one another, loving ourselves so much, we're going to stop hating on ourselves. You know how they teach us, the Israelites killed the Canaanites and the Amorites and the Jebusites and all these other Ikes and stuff like that, right? So we've been killing. So they use that as a fuel. We've been killing out ourselves, killing out one another, killing out our brothers and sisters. We got to stop it. Getting in the streets and rioting and burning down one another, businesses and all that stuff. No, we got to prove them wrong now. We gotta show another level of maturity. And that's how we have to now vibrate. That's how we have to speak. We have to change our thinking, change the way we speak, change the way we carry ourselves, change the way we conduct business. Stop trying to trick one another out of our finances and all that different stuff to get money. Stop lying to one another for selfish gain. Do you understand? In this awakening, yeah, we got to stop all of that to get things out of people. Yeah. Anyhow, I love you, family. I love you all so, so, so much. It's always an honor. I tell you, it's always an honor to come and to talk with you and to share with you. It's always an honor. It's always humbling to be used by the divine, by the Most High, to speak. Because me, in and of myself, I know nothing. I know nothing in and of myself. But as revealed through my DNA, through my Muwanda, through the empowering of the Most High, I share with you. Let us love. Let us love. Let us love unconditionally. You know, whether I'm your favorite person or not, it doesn't take anything out of you to love me. And it doesn't take anything out of me to love you. I don't have to be your best friend. I don't have to be on your call list, but it still doesn't take nothing to love one another. Let me tell you, when I say this, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it, it's a fact. It's a fact. And when I tell you there is nobody in this world that I hate, there's no one that I hate. I dislike. The other day I found myself walking and talking to one Mzungu, having a good old conversation. He visited Kenya from Switzerland or someplace, and I had a conversation and okay, that's nice. And, it was cold and he decided to come to get away from the cold and get some sun. And, I was good and laughing and talking and going about my business as laughing at him because, the hustlers was trying to hustle him, especially because of the color of his skin. You understand? But the scripture that they give us, what it says, the parents eat the sour grapes and put the children's teeth on edge. And that's some of the repercussion of what's going on with some of the Mzungus. Their ancestors did this damage. And they are paying the price for what their ancestors did. Just like for us. Our ancestors created them. And then they turn around and enslave some of our ancestors. And now we are hating them. So we have high cases of diabetes, high blood pressure, sickle cells, cancer, bone, all these different things. Because of what? Our hatred, the level that where we at. Yeah, it's causing us to, understand, be in the condition that we're in. So let's get out of the trap. So let's try hard love. Don't get in a place of bitterness and spewing anger and all that stuff. Please love. Okay? So enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your night, whatever time zone you're in. Know that the Most High, the divine creator of us all, love us all. Love us all. And the will is that we love one another. The will and the purpose is for us to have an amazing experience, enjoy this utopia, this earth. So now our love would clean it up. Our love will clean this earth up and make it a beautiful paradise that it had was intended for us to come and have this experience on. Yeah. So take care of yourselves. Kimbo, Kimbo, Natin and Zambi, Yamazulu. I love you, family.